Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Secretary School Education, Mr. Rajshri Bhattacharya, Dr. Rukmini Banerjee, Dr. Madhav Chavan, Professor Abhijit Banerjee, Professor Lan Pritchett, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed privileged today to be able to release the ASER report in my capacity as the HRD Minister. Of course, I am dismayed at some of the findings, but I have taken great solace from Professor Pritchett's words that we did not give up too early, and I think we need to plod on. After coming into this ministry a couple of months ago, I have been having a lot of parents walking up to me at dinners, outside, and saying, please get rid of this continuous and comprehensive evaluation system. And, I did not know, first of all, I did not know what it was initially. And I have a son who's in 9th grade, and I've seen this guy get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. My family lives in Hyderabad, and, he's studying, and sometimes I lie in bed with him. And I told him, son, this is exactly my life in Delhi. After coming into this ministry, this is what I've been doing, getting up at 6 o'clock and, doing my homework. But what I reassure him is, I think whatever effort you put in life, it's never going to go away. It's going to stand you in good stead. And I believe that's what it's going to do to our kids today. I think we have to, get them on the go. And the distractions are many today. And, I think they have a lot more exposure and at the same time a lot more pressure and expectations looking at their peers around and probably at their peers in private schools. But I think what is important is that the aspiration levels of the kids in India are going up. And I think they can only, match their aspirations by putting in proportional efforts, not only in their education, but in their overall development. But probably, I wouldn't want to hazard a guess, but probably, this focus, too much focus on academics will get to them. And I think we have to probably make their whole exposure well-rounded. A little bit of sports, a little bit of extracurricular activities. But if you look at rural India, and I come from a very rural constituency, conditions are very different. And I think sports, if you talk about sports, it's considered a luxury. So I know that a lot of mothers come up to me in meetings and say, can you put, make sure that we have an English teacher. So I think at the parents' level also are these aspirations for their children. And that is the reason why, if they find some shortcomings in the government schools, I think there is a tendency to push them to private schools. And so I will not grudge the trend. If the trend is to an increase in enrollment into private schools, I will not grudge the trend. Because in whichever way, I think it is important that our kids get educated and they get educated well. And not only are they educated, but they also get an all-round exposure. So if the private schools are doing a better job, so be it. We will definitely try to match those conditions even in the government schools. And having said that, I am pleased that the enrollment levels holding good and staying about 96%, and also in the way the infrastructure has been improving in schools, all which are prerequisites for retention of kids in the school. And I know that the toilets are a very important factor for girls, and it increases as we get into secondary and higher secondary education. So I think that is the infrastructure is definitely the challenge of the government, to ensure that infrastructure is, that level of infrastructure is maintained, sustained, and also, kept well. And there, again, I don't think it should be the responsibility of only the government, but an involvement of the school management committees, which comprises of 70% of which is comprises of parents of the children. So I think these are things that we should encourage. And when I look at enrollment levels of girls going down the last 2 years, again, that's a cause for worry, because, we've been touting that the enrollment and retention of girls has been increasing. So I hope that it is only a temporary trend, and then it would pick up soon. I don't want to hazard a guess at why the learning outcomes are going down, but I certainly will not attribute it to the factor of the continuous and comprehensive evaluation system, because I know that the aspiration levels are there for their kids to do better. So we definitely have to delve into the reasons why over the last 2 years these trends have been in a negative mold. But apart from that, I think the enrollment levels going up, the quality of the midday meal scheme, and the teacher enrollment, all these things I think are showing an upward trend. But the challenge still remains that when we have a deadline of March 2013 coming up, and most of the eastern states are not yet there in terms of infrastructure, the availability of teachers, and I think these are definitely challenges for the country, and we need to work with the states together on this. I think after providing for law and order, the states should have definitely been catering to ensuring that there is qualitative primary education in the states, but somehow that is one aspect that has been overlooked. But I think it's not too late. After the RTE Act has been promulgated, you see a lot of response from the states, and I hope that in the coming years we can motivate the states to do much more in terms of raising the bar as far as the quality is concerned. Now, as a outcome of the results, I know that we have to do much more, and rightly so. The focus of the entire 12th five-year plan is on the aspect of quality. So I think we have to maintain standards in school in terms of the curriculum, in terms of the quality of teachers, and eventually what is the measurable is the learning outcomes. And I certainly hope that in the coming years we will be able to pick it up. I think we are all aware of the demographic advantage that India possesses, but if we have to reap the demographic dividend, we certainly have to invest a lot more in the quality of our education, in the quality of showing a path for an opportunity to most of these kids. And I think we have to work together on this. I thank Pratham for this annual survey, which is like a dipstick survey, but it does give immediate focus. The ministry has its own survey from the NCERT, but which comes out once in every 3 years. And there also the trends have been good. We will have to watch what are the latest findings. But nevertheless, it's important that we all work together, because I think if this generation, if we can invest well, it will be a positive force not only for India but also for the world. I thank you all again for this opportunity to be able to release this report, and I certainly hope that the next year's report would be a lot better. Jai Hind.